Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started again. So SKYX is I think I started covering SKYX, I don't know how long it's been, a few months, whatever. And it was introduced to me from a guy that I've done some other things with in the past, and usually I like to get new ideas from people that brought me other ideas that worked, obviously. So that's how I came across landing in SKYX. And some of you guys will, I feel like there's guys in this room that we've probably run across landing because at one time you're the CEO of National Securities, right? So we all know, I mean, most of us who were in the business know who National Securities was. So at any rate, when I heard this story, it resonated with me because I'm kind of a do-it-yourselfer. I mean, my wife Ann is the decorator, and so whenever she's like, let's change things out, and I'm the guy who has to do it. And the two things I hate doing is plumbing, and I hate doing the electrical. So when I first saw this, I thought, this is a really great idea. Well, then when I started to dig into it, it became a better and better idea, mostly because of some of the traction they've gotten with respect to the National Electrical Code. Now, I think from an investment perspective, there's probably, I don't know if you cringe when you hear it, but I think sometimes the street has placed a lot of sort of emphasis on their ability maybe to go get this mandate. And I can talk to people more about the mandate if they'd like, but I just happen to believe that this is going to work with or without the mandate. But on the other hand, if the mandate happens, oh my goodness. So it's a great story. I've got a couple of the, I'm just going to pass them around just to show you how easy it is. Actually, here, you take this. I'm going to go.
All right, thank you, David.
I'm just going to tell you. Now, I want these back because I'm supposed to hang them up in my house. So don't be stealing them. It's really cool. This goes in that goes in the top of the outlet, so the wires come down. Instead of you twisting them up, there's a little place for each one of them. That goes up into the receptacle. On this end, you take the light fixture and you attach it to this. You don't have to be standing on the ladder to do this. You can be down, here where you're watching TV if you want. And when you're done, this is in the ceiling. The light fixture's on the other end of this. You push this in and you pull it. You push it up. And it's connected. When you want to change it out, you unplug it, take it out, put a new light fixture on it. Eventually you'll just buy the light fixture with this attached. And you plug it back in. So it's really like plugging your lamp in, right? So it's just very cool. And I think that by the time it's all said and done,
can I see that?
I think it's good. Yeah, I'm going to pass it.
Could you repeat that whole thing again?
No, I am going to do a video. I'm going to put it on my site of me changing it out.
Oh, boy.
And I don't think you could do this, but I can do this. So there you go. Lenny, you're up.
Okay, thank you. That was really good. You're hired.
Can I see that?
So I think the best place to start, I have a 4-minute video. It'll give you a full idea of the product range and and also a demo we did at the Marriott Hotel in Pennsylvania. One of our strategic investors owns about 60 Marriotts and about 20 Hiltons, and so he understands. And there's a trajectory just for buildings in general, homes, buildings, and hotels. So if I can, I'll do this, and then I can give you an overview. And by the way, that receptacle that David showing, this is like the Trojan horse to a whole smart platform. And our patents are over 100 patents and patents pending, 45 granted, cover both sides. This side and that side. Anything that's a sensor, smoke, sound, CO, voice, those patents are ours. So I'll explain to you the strategy, but again, a good Trojan horse, and you'll see the whole vision and what we've achieved regulatorily. So this is not a dream, it's happened to a great degree.
SKYX Platforms. SKYX. The future is here. Advancing, simplifying while saving time, cost, and lives. SKYX's technologies won 7 CES awards and has nearly 100 US and global patents and patent applications. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb that for many years was installed by twisting hazardous wires until inventing the Edison base that became the global standard in every home and building for billions of light bulbs. Billions of fixtures are installed annually while touching hazardous, dangerous wires and risking lives. SKYX has a goal to follow Edison's path to become a US and global standard in homes and buildings for billions of fixtures, including smart home, AI, lighting, and fans, to become plug-and-play, advancing their performance, making homes become safer and smart within seconds, while saving time, cost, and lives. Our Gen 1 SkyPlug enables a safe installation of light fixtures, ceiling fans, smart home, and electronics within seconds, making it safe, easy, and convenient for the user. First-time installation takes a minute to install, and it is safe to touch. SkyPlug is recognized as part of the NEC, the National Electrical Code, and mentioned in multiple publications, acknowledging the safety and the usability that its technology brings to the electrical profession. Our Gen 2 is a smart SkyPlug, takes only seconds to install, and is integrated with the newest technologies and platforms. The SkyPlug Smart is integrated with many smart features, including phone control, voice control, energy-saving eco mode, scheduling, dimming, works with Siri, Alexa, Google, Cortana, and SmartThings. It has an emergency light, night light, color-changing light. Our Gen 3 Sky all-in-one smart home platform enhances your all-around lifestyle, making your home become smart and safe instantly. It includes the most advanced, smart, and safe features that are necessary for every home. The Sky platform installed safely and simply within minutes to the top center of your ceiling, blending inconspicuously with your decor. The Sky platform is integrated with a backup power failure LED light. In the center of the Sky platform is embedded the Sky outlet, as approved by the National Electric Code. SkyPlug lighting, fans, and accessories can connect with the click of a button to the Sky platform. A series of Sky platforms installed in a home could repeat Wi-Fi signal and play the same music throughout the house. In the event of a fire, the integrated smoke and CO2 sensor would make an alarming sound. The Sky Home app can easily control light intensity, motion detector, light color control, temperature and humidity monitoring, room-to-room intercom, control volume and music in each room. SKYX platforms. SKYX platforms. SKYX, the future.
Just hit the clicker. Get you to the next slide.
Where's the, it's like a video. Sorry.
SKYX showcases its advanced, safe, and fast install lighting technologies in a Spring Hill Suites Marriott hotel renovation. First-time installation into a standard electrical outlet box takes a minute. In hospitality renovations, every second counts. With SKYX, replacing or installing light fixtures takes just seconds, making it safe, easy, and cost-efficient. Traditional installation of lighting and exit signs takes a lengthy amount of time. Now, with SKYX's technology, an entire room takes only minutes to install. SKYX's installation system reduces significant time and cost while enhancing the safety of the hotel, its employees, and guests. SKYX delivers fast, professional results for hotels and buildings, simplifying renovations, enhancing safety, while reducing costs and time. Design meets function, mirrors with backlighting, installed in seconds with SKYX. SkyPlug transforms maintenance. No wires, no delays. Simply plug, click, and you're done. SKYX. Innovation, speed, safety. The future of hospitality starts here, saving time, cutting costs, while maximizing safety and efficiency. SKYX's technology is approved by UL, NFPA, NEC, and by ANSI, NEMA.
Great. Since we have limited time, what I'd like to do is I'll run through some foundational slides, just so everyone has an idea, has an exposure to what we have. I'll start with just quickly, some of the people on our leadership team advisory. These are all active. This isn't like, oh, we have a cup of coffee once a year. We've all seen those stories. Ronnie Cohen on the left is our founder. He's the inventor. He's the one that generated over 100 patents pending, 45 granted. This is U.S., Canada, Asia, China, Europe, India. Steve Schmidt is our president, former CEO of Nielsen Data, and also president of Office Depot International, former. And we have a whole data play just down the road. When like our iPhones listen to us and collect data, and Alexa in our homes. Once we have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, we could collect legal anonymized data that has a value in and of itself. As really, data is like the new oil. So that's that's something that's even in the future. This opportunity is extremely disruptive and has massive potential. Bob Nardelli, former CEO of Home Depot, Chrysler, and GE Power Systems, is an active advisor. He got us a relationship assisted with Home Depot, which we've announced. Al Weiss, former president of Disney Resorts Worldwide, he understands the opportunity for commercial buildings and hotels. I've been on the board for over 13 years with Governor Tom Ridge, two-time governor of Pennsylvania, first director of Homeland Security. He's been an investor before me, and he's been very helpful with us, and needless to say, a great American and a hero. Lance Shaner, that was one of his Marriotts. He led a $15 million equity round a year ago, October, and he is very influential with the Marriott Group. Just to plant the seed, we think and we believe that the Marriotts and other branded hotels, which have to renovate every 7 years and refresh, are a great candidate. He's invested. He was investing before we went public, after we went public, and he understands the value proposition. There's no doubt, and a lot of the projects we're looking at that we've announced, I'll mention a few, involve hotels as well. And Mark Earley is probably the most famous, at least known, and most important in many ways. He's the former head of the National Electrical Code for over 30 years, and chief engineer of the NFPA, which is the National Fire Protection Association, is the umbrella organization to the National Electrical Code. He, along with Eric Jacobson, who's former president of the American Lighting Association, they probably have done more electrical and code changes than any two gentlemen in the U.S. And those two guys, David mentioned mandate or mandatory. Those two guys have signed our application for mandatory. I'll tell you what that means. But they are extremely influential and very serious, and they're wonderful people. Khadija Mustafa, former head of global AI for Microsoft. If you listen, it's been recorded. Our earnings call from yesterday for our Q3. She spoke on the earnings call as a favor to us, just to talk about the AI and the location of our Generation 3 and how it enhances chip performance. We announced a major deal in the Middle East for Egypt and Saudi Arabia, and those areas are very aggressive, trying to get ahead of the curve on technology. Paul Chernofsky out of Chicago founded the Endurance car warranty. I hear it on the radio all the time. He founded it, sold it, bought it back again. He's our insurance expert. We believe once our full line is out, insurance companies will provide incentives like they do for home alarms, for discounts, because we save lives. Not only save time and money, but we save lives. And Patty Barron's our COO. She's a UL genius and expert in our technology guru for the regulatory. So just real quickly, the patents we discussed, we bought in 23 over 160 websites We just finished this, the 24 with about 86 million in revenues. We used it, it's an e-commerce site for lighting and decor, and we use it to lead and seed, to educate the consumer, educate other retailers that we're in, like Wayfair and Home Depot already, to understand how our product works. We're selling generation 1 and 2. We have the app working, been working for 2 years now, and we've educated. We've used the GE model that GE taught us, lead and seed. The revenue streams will be for retail, the professional. The royalty and licensing will happen in the future because we won't be able to address the whole market. Our plan is to license and have the licensing model. The TAM is massive. It's over 500 billion just on homes. When you count the number of homes, 140 million. There's at least 30 installations per home. Now with hi-hats, it's even more. The number's incredible. So the annual installations, we estimate around 400 million a year just in the U.S. We projected, this is dated already by a quarter. By the end of this year, we'll have about 50,000 of our receptacles, our products in homes in the U.S. and Canada. We have a sales in Canada with one of the top Canadian lighting websites. And I mentioned the insurance companies. 23, 58.8, 50, 86.3, and then the last 7 quarters, including this last one we just announced yesterday, year-over-year sequential growth. It's been moderate, but it's continued growth. We really haven't penetrated our products into the channel. The key collaborations: Home Depot, Wayfair, Kichler, the biggest company in the U.S., Quoizel, the oldest lighting, Eglo, the biggest in Europe. These are companies that we've educated and that they understand the value proposition. They believe that the light fixture replacement market will accelerate. It'll be so easy to click a sconce in or an outdoor light in and out, then it'll accelerate the replacement cycle, maybe by 50%. We announced the $3 billion smart city in Miami. It's downtown Miami's in the background, Wynwood, where they do our Basel, right below it, the yellow square is where we're doing it, and South Beach on the top left. Two big developers have been building in Miami for multiple decades. They leased a 200-year land lease from the city of Miami. This is done, inked, and it's smart because we're a fundamental part of it. Architectonica, one of the leading architecture firms that claim to fame was the Microsoft building in Paris. They're designing this project, and it's about 5,700 apartments and condos, a tri-rail station, a new one that's being built is in mixed use across the board. And they've broken ground. It'll be a 3-year project, essentially. We talked about it. These are our generation on the left. Next one is generation 2. The app is working, and then generation 3, which we believe will be in production end of this quarter. And if not, it'll roll into the beginning of Q1 26. So the builders are adopting this, and we announced also landmark companies in Austin project. They built a lot of apartments, 280 apartments they've adopted. The builders and developers are adopting this because we save time and money for them. A minute to put in the receptacle, maybe you have to use an electrician for that, a minute, and then you don't need an electrician to click in the products. So off to the left is in 1904, the wall outlet. People don't realize this is when it became mandatory. People used to put a radio or a refrigerator by wires. Then of course you had the Edison bulb by wires originally, and then the GE told us they never became a global conglomerate until they invented the Edison base to make it universal and easy to put in. The 1980s, everyone has this in their bathroom or kitchen, is the GFCI. It became mandatory because people were dying. This is the regulators. It's all about safety and saving lives. And then in the 91, companies like I was general counsel of, and EVP, Windmere Corporation, we competed against Norelco, Philips, Conair, And we were mandated to put that plug at the end of a hairdryer. So today you go buy a hairdryer, that plug is at the end of it because people were dying and getting burned in fires, dropping the hairdryers in sinks and bathtubs. All the companies were being sued. So I lived through it. I had to go license the technology, and they give the industry 24 months to install. And then Ronnie comes along, Ronnie Cohen, and he says that our junction box has been sitting there. We've been to the moon over 50 years ago, and no one's figured out how to make it easy. He was a developer. He never was an inventor. And he said, someone has to invent something so I can make it quick. I could get my CO or permit. And he developed this. And it was really groundbreaking. The junction box, like federal national code, has to hold 50 pounds. Ours will hold 200 pounds, twice actually. We have two, it's a double ball bearing, and we have a second click. So in case you don't click it all the way in, it'll catch itself, 200 pounds each one. Exit signs, emergency lights, airbags. This is what the regulators have to worry about. We know the problem, and we know the solution was us. And so the TAM I discussed, and so when we went to the regulators, this was the value proposition. You know, why are we different than a wall outlet? And there really was no difference. So what they had to do, and what we've done, and this is foundational, is if everyone knew more about the NEC like they know about the FDA after COVID, I think we would have a better understanding in the Wall Street. We're in 10 segments of the National Electrical Code, 10 paragraphs. We've been approved by ANSI and NEMA. ANSI is every building has to have the specifications, rebar, the concrete. We've been ANSI approved 2 years ago. So as a result of these code changes, these are codified in the code. You could chat GPT it, and as a result of these changes, they've changed the definition of the receptacle. The receptacle from 1904, they've added a second defined receptacle. That's us. That's codified. Then they gave us a generic name already last year. Like the GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter, they're not going to call it ABC Corp. They're called it the WSCR, weight support ceiling receptacle. In the code, we are a standard. And as a result of these changes, a builder can now put us up like they do a wall outlet. They don't have to put a fixture in, and they can get their CO and their permit. 1 minute, and then they're breaking escrow for getting a permit. And later, they click in, they get the fixtures are smart, whatever plugs in. And so this was groundbreaking. So after 120 years, they changed the definition of receptacle. And they did this not because they like us, which they do, but it's because their own data. This is from the NFPA. There's over 400 deaths per year from people twisting wires and lights, getting electric shock, electrocuted. And if you see the injuries that we've seen, it's unbelievable. And more so, ladder falls, there's over thousands of deaths. This is their own data. And so their mandate is if there's one death that's foreseeable, that's their standard, then it's got to be addressed. And so therefore, that's why we've gotten the code provisions. We've applied, and those two guys that I showed you in the beginning, for mandatory now. We've checked all the boxes for mandatory. Mark Early and Eric Jacobson, those two guys have signed our application, and we're also working with a prominent advisor who's a lawyer close with the U.S. administration and the president, that they believe that there's two government agencies that could mandate us, and one is the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, which has oversight of ladder falls, believe it or not, and then the CPSC, the Consumer Product Safety Commission. And by the way, I'm leaving the slide on with the hairdryers. That plug at the end of the hairdryers wasn't the NEC that mandated that, it was the CPSC. Said people are dying and you better get on it, and they made it federally mandatory. So we've gone multiple paths for mandatory. And so our whole strategy is razor in the blades model. I call it the Trojan horse, the razor. That's why we count the razor. That's why we count the receptacles. Anything that plugs into it is something we've sold or we've licensed. All roads lead to Rome. And so when we're mandated, by the way, we have to license it. That's how the system works. We've already signed a letter on a non-discriminatory basis for a fair royalty, but that's only on generation 1. We don't have to license the smart stuff or anything that's smart that touches it. That's still within our control. So that's how you get, they're going to give the industry 2 years once it's mandated. But our business model is already taking off with the smart city, the developers, the Middle East, the hotels, the landmark companies, because it's saving them money to install and saving them time. And then we have the other constituent is the regulators and the people that are really getting hurt and we're saving lives. So that's what's compelling. The generation 3, you're going to make your home smart within minutes, all synchronized with our app. We basically knocked off the iPhone concept, and this is the problem today, making a home smart, even a 1-bedroom. You have all these disparate pieces to synchronize on an app and versus plugging something in and it works. And so having something in the ceiling gives you your best range and the most speed, and then you can make a 1-bedroom smart within minutes, at home within a few hours, in a building or hotel once you have receptacles in within a few days versus months. So this is compelling. Prefabricated homes. We have a joint venture. We did a demonstration with CAFCO. That's a huge industry and very small in the U.S. versus the rest of the world. That is going to grow as an industry. And so our whole line is here. We have hi-hats, we have patents on everything. And the smart fan, turbo fan, we have global patents. The fan is attached to the bottom of the heater is attached to the bottom of the fan. It's a turbo heater and a regular fan. We're landing those this month, and that's a huge business. And no one else in the world has it, and it works with our plug and play. So the big box stores love it, and we think it'll resonate. It's an all-season fan. And so there you go. And I just appreciate your time, and thank you again, David, for your research and your insight. Really, it was nice to.
Questions?
Any questions?
Yeah. Ed Larkin wrote up Qualcomm, 1980 something.
Where's that?
Yeah. Development of CDMA for the telephone industry. It ended up being adopted. Qualcomm went from $14 to $900.
Right.
And I remember selling it for $20. But I thought I was pretty smart. Went to
Don't ever make that mistake.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, went to 900, and is this kind of a similar situation here?
It's a decent analogy, yeah. I think that is.
Because CDMA in the telephone industry ended up getting adopted
Right.
by the whole industry.
Right.
So is what you're saying, is this going to get adopted by the whole industry?
The industry's adopting it now, and the regulators are behind, making it mandatory. The regulators already put it in the code.
Okay, my question then would be, how soon is Philips, Norelco, Sony, Mitsubishi, all those companies, how soon are they going to be in there to overwhelm you?
We could.
He's got 100 patents.
It's a Schneider, you're right, and also the guys that make the junction box. Happy to license to them. Once it's mandatory, license it, build it. We have the specs. The reason why the
So it'll just be a royalty from all those companies?
Yeah, the reason, and anything that's smart is still our control. We could do whatever we want. We license the whole platform, Generation 3 to Apple. You could put all your good brains inside. What do we give them? Proprietary spot in the ceiling, the best location in the home, unlimited, really, electronic real estate, and you can still put your fixture in. You're not going to piss off your wife or husband. So,
Mike, you have a question, Mike?
Yeah, do you have any plans for direct to consumer, or are you just more like licensing?
Right, we started with direct to consumer. That's how we educated the market. So our 60 websites are all B2C, and we used it to educate and lead and seed. Then the Home Depot and the Wayfair saw it. Oh, I get it, because I'm selling a Kitzler fixture that they make old school, and I'm selling them with my generation 1 or 2, and making it easy to install and smart. So we started with them. Now our websites are being redone, the software for better conversion rates, and also for the B2B. And we learned from Home Depot, a lot of the builders, and even the big ones, are buying online. They prefer to do that. So we can supply directly through all our factories. The lighting industry is very fragmented, just lighting alone. But we could supply directly to all those developers.
What about restaurants?
Any commercial, count the hi-hats. And you know what, they're all LED now. And I'm on my second LED in my kitchen that's 4 years old, and I have to replace the whole fixture and call an electrician in. Now with our invention, which I passed through quickly, you just click the top off, throw it out, and just click a new one in.
How much would a place like Top Golf here benefit financially?
They would just the replacement, maintenance. We do exit signs, you know what? Just that industry alone, exit sign industry is massive. And the maintenance on it, they're all battery backup, so they have to check the batteries at least once a year. And they're attached like a light fixture, so you gotta have an electrician, they gotta turn the power off. Versus someone coming in, the guy that's doing the picking up the balls out there can also click one in and new one.
Yeah. Well,
I could do it.
And I think lastly, bumping up on time, but the one thing I want to point out is that, so he talked about lead and feed, right? Lead and seed. What you need to recognize is that right now, so they just announced a quarter, it's $24 million, so they're roughly on a $100 million run rate, right? But recognize that this piece of hardware, that is not contributed measurably to any of those numbers. So when he says lead and seed, what he's really saying is they purchase these websites and then they run these websites, but that nearly $100 million worth of revenue has come almost exclusively from them selling other people's lighting fixtures. So when this starts to sell, the margins are this has a much better margin than somebody selling somebody else's product. And so I'm just telling you that the focus of the company has generated very, very few of that very little of that $100 million of revenue. And when they start selling these, the revenues are going to go up and the margins are going to increase because there's better margin in this than there is in somebody else's. So, and I think the other thing is, you know, I think so you have that out there, and then there's this idea of the mandate, which I'll be happy to talk to people about the mandate. But the reality is, if the mandate comes, what that means is that if somebody goes and builds a house or builds one of these commercial buildings, this has to be in it. That's the mandate. Now, that's not what we're at today, but if that becomes a mandate, you build a house, this goes in it. Period. I don't know.
So I may have missed it. So is this a focus only towards developers and like new construction, or are you going to retrofit? You know, like
All the above.
Yep.
Consumers, retrofit, builders, developers, hotels. It's happening now.
So when you go retrofit, you know, isn't it essentially the same process of doing the whole new electric?
Once.
Well, the
Once.
first,
Okay.
yeah, the first installation of the receptacle. We already have lights landing on our websites today for like sconces and outdoor bathroom bars that already have the plug in the back. So once your receptacle's in, and then it took you a minute, you could pull it out of the box and you could click it in. And that's what's happened. That's what will happen. And by the way, this turbo heater fan, it'll also educate the market more because you know how long it takes to put a fan up? An hour and a half with an electrician. Ours is receptacle in, out of the box, click.
What was the weight total again?
We hold 200 pounds.
Up to 200.
Yeah.
Is there an idea to make it bigger? Or
Yeah, we can, but right now the junction box, the standard junction box is over 90% of the industry. The light fixtures are, under 50 pounds because the junction boxes only need to hold 50 pounds.
Are you going to be around afterwards?
No, I gotta head
Okay.
back.
Well, we're bumped up against time, so I got.
I'd love to take any calls later, speak to David.
Yeah, I could hook people up.
Yeah, please, and I appreciate everyone's time.
Great.
Have a good day.